Hey guys, everybody, welcome to the Mountain Dew Race Series Season 4 debut race. We're going to be here for our exhibition race, the Budweiser Shootout, the third ring of it, since I forgot to do it in Season 1, but I'm glad to be back. Everything is ready finally. We've got new cars, everything's new, other new things will be shown in the video, actually momentarily, that involve the starting lineup, wink wink, and finally ready. Took a while, but I finally got some time, and I got the Bud Shootout all set up and everything. I actually held the raffle last night to add 5 drivers to the 20 car field that already had qualified to get in the Budweiser Shootout, and the 20 drivers that are in it originally got in through either being a past champion, a race winner from Season 3, which was last season, a former Bud Shootout winner, former points race Daytona winner, or making the Season 3 chase, which was also, which was last season. So any of those ways they got in. And then the 5 drivers after that one got in the raffle that were in the video, they're in through that. So we have a 25 car field for a 24 lapper here at the Daytona International Speedway for the running of the Budweiser Shootout. No points on the line, just for fun, for bragging rights. So these 25 drivers, guys and gals, we'll go at it here at Daytona. We'll see some 3-wide racing. So let's see what happens in this 24 lapper as the field. Whoops. I'm going to play this. We'll wait for the field to roll off. Pace car should be going any moment. And there goes the pace car. The field starts going. Doesn't look like anybody's going to have problems. So for the first time ever, let's see the starting lineup. I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, hope you guys like that starting lineup right there, but we were about to go green. We have 4 rookies in the field through the raffle. Ryan Juke in the 74, Barney Ward in the 5, Daryl Parsons in the 55, and trying to think the last one, and Soren Tahari in the 9 are the 4 rookies in the field. So Zach Carlson, James McLeod will lead the field down to the green flag, and we're racing here at Daytona. The Budweiser Shootout is underway. They go into turn 1. They're still dead even for the lead as Zach Carlson trying to pull ahead of James McLeod. Zach Carlson, the defending winner of the Daytona 500, and he won at Talladega in the fall race during the chase. So Zach Carlson is one of the premier restrictor plate racers in the series, and he came back, and he's always a threat at these restrictor plate races. James McLeod, for the first time in the Mountain Dew Race Series history, is not in the 83 Red Bull Racing Toyota anymore. He has moved over to Hendrick Motorsports to drive the 25 Chevy, Ditech.com, and GMAC in it. So he is going to try something with a Chevy this year. And Callum Wells, who's returned to the 16, who made the chase. That's how he got into the Bud Shootout here. Made the chase. He's up here leading. He's going to lead the first lap. Him and Alexander Dawson are going to drag race. And it went to Callum Wells. And you see Alexander Dawson, new driver of the 51 car. The team actually, the older team dissolved. No longer the NOS 51 car. It became the Castro Syntex car. Oh! Soren Tahari just got into him. Man, those Sam and Oscar cars have been going all over the place in the series, getting into people. Soren Tahari, just going to bring him up now. See Alexander Dawson, he was the former driver of the 25. Now he's in the 51 that used to be driven by Steven Gonzalez. And Steven Gonzalez is now driving the 22 car in the back. Live back here. He's driving the new 22 Penske Dodge Pennzoil. He's actually behind the other Pennzoil car. That's going to be annoying. Meaning to switch the paint scheme for this race, but you guys should be able to figure it out. Steven's now in the 22 car. That other car dissolved as well, the Bill Davis Racing 22. So we have 3 Penske cars this season. And speaking of that, the other Penske car is up a little bit, I believe. And yes, he's up in second. Zohar Muddin's moved over to the 12 car. He left the 5 car, and now Penske Racing has 3 cars. The third car is not in this race. It is Ryan Acosta, the new driver of the two, but he is not in it. Jake Rogers was a driver first 3 seasons. He was season 2 champion, did not return to the car. But we wish Jake Rogers the best luck in the Mopar Nationwide Series as he is driving the 81. And John Dawson, one of the raffle drivers, he was one of the strongest cars. He was actually the strongest car that did not make the chase last season. He is leading right now. He moved over to the 56 car. Michael Waltrip Racing completely unfolded and came on the scene this season. 4 cars this season. John Dawson is the 56 driver. Jacob Bell, who is the only one not in this race right here, he is in the 40. Daryl Parsons in the 55. And Charles Jackson has moved over to the 15. He is further back. And our defending champion of the Mountain Dew Race Series, Jack Richards, is on the back bumper in second place of John Dawson. There is his 14 car. He returned. He's in the series again, obviously. He got it through multiple ways since he was champion and all that. And there's Barney Ward, one of the new rookies this season. He took over the 5 car that used to be driven by Zohar Mutton. So here you see Barney Ward up here running good. John Dawson continues to lead. Not seeing the 3-wide racing like I thought we were going to see at first. Not very sure about that. I think once they get going and everything, they'll get 3-wide. But if they don't, then it's just the shootout, though. Here's Trent Dunham. Trent Dunham with a new look this season. He remains in the 8 car, but it's now GM Goodwrench Plus. He will be running the Budweiser paint scheme this season some. Whenever the 3 car, it's running the Goodwrench car, he'll be driving a different paint scheme, so we won't get the cars mixed up. But whenever he's driving that car, the 3 car will be driving a silver car, which is driven by Sean Henley, who's not in this race. And there's Sasha Dawson. One of the drivers have been running good this season. Or last season she did. Made the chase and everything. She returns to the 1 car. And the 2 Penske cars, well not, oops. I hope I don't do that a lot this season. The 2 Pennzoil cars are going up here. Trying to do a good run. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Matthew Rodriguez in the 29. With Steven Gonzalez right on his bumper. And there's Daryl Parsons in the 19 of Michael Causey, who returns in the 19, but just with a different look. They go on the back straightaway here. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Gonna close the door so I didn't get loud or anything. Matthew Rodriguez, and now here we go. Here comes the 3-wide racing. Gonna get crazy here. Here comes Daryl Parsons. His son didn't make the race. Brandon did not get in the race, but Daryl is gonna hold the banner for the Parson family, so he's going to try to do some stuff up here as Matthew Rodriguez will lead this lap, working lap number 7 of 24. Ooh, Michael Causey was thinking about it. We'll go through the field again and look for some more people we haven't talked about. There's Zach Carlson, James McCloud, the front rows in the back. There's Randy Carpenter, the last winner we had here. Oh, that 9 car is getting into him. Oh, that's the second time Soren Tahari, he's gotten into 2 people now in this race. He about turned the 41. Don't know what that was about. Soren Tahari, I guess, just has some nerves to knock off or something. He's just been all over. Oh, they're really close up ahead. They're 3 by 3 up here. Looks like Daryl Parsons taking the lead, and he has teammate Charles Jackson in the 15. Alabama paint scheme is right behind him. And there's the defending winner of the Budweiser Shootout. Taylor Orndorff has returned to the 91 this season. That Mopar Dodge Charger looking good. And Reb Bell, winner last season at Bristol, and she made the chase. She's back in the 4. Dylan Poteet, who was in the 22, is now in the new 24. Oh, we got problems. Oh, huge crash. The 22 got turned. Collects the 29. Matthew Rodriguez. Oh, gosh. And they're still wrecking. Zach Carlson, Jack Richards, Sasha Dawson, not Zohar, Barney Ward, Matthew Rodriguez, Trent Dunham, and Steven Gonzalez got turned. They continue on because there's no caution in the series, but we have 2 packs now. Anybody else get damaged? Callum Wells, I don't know if he did. There's James McCloud, Alexander Dawson, Randy Carpenter. Looks like these cars are clean. Jacob Rodriguez, 33. There's Ralph Green back in the 28, but man, I don't know if that second group's going to be able to catch it back up. But we're going to do a quick look at the replay, and then we'll get back to the action, see what happened that started the wreck and brought out this. Well, actually, we don't have a caution in this series. Gotta get used to that again. But let's go see what happened before we get any further in this race. Alright, well, there were 3 wide up here. Just racing normal. I don't know who got. I think the 22 got hooked by somebody. Sasha Dawson's right behind him. We're going to go in this corner. Uh-oh. That 22 was hooked up to the 29 this whole race. It's hard to even tell them apart from this front angle. We go in the corner. Sasha Dawson, I think, peeked under him. Ooh! Sasha slid back up right into Steven. And this is going to bring him down. Trent Dunham. Oh, man. Oh, and then it collects him. Oh, hard wreck. Not really what you want to see a Goodwrench car looking like. And Zach Carlson, I don't know what happened there. Oh, and Sasha just slammed him. Oh, decided that was horrible. Let's have another replay on Trent Dunham's car. Now here's Trent. He is in the middle right here. He's right almost to the inside of Steven Gonzalez. So he's going to get a good view of this. Play this a little bit. And he's going to drop to the bottom now, so he's behind Aaron Reed, who returned to the 88, by the way. See James Quald up there in the 6, some other people we haven't mentioned yet. Now, we're not going to see the contact, but Trent's going to be almost clear of it, and then the 1 gets into the 22, and this happens to Trent. He almost cleared it, and... oh! You see Steven Gonzalez's car. You see Barney Ward's car as well, and there's Matthew Rodriguez. That's going to ruin their days, and then Zach Carlson up there wrecked and collected Sasha Dawson and some others. And we'll go back and see what happened to Jack Richard to see how he got involved in this. Riding on board with Jack Richards, and we'll see what happened to him. He's following Barney Ward, so he's behind this. I guess he got piled up in this when they got hooked, and they're going to come back up, and oh, he ran in the back of Sasha. That's what happened. I think 16, or actually go back, I think James McLeod actually got into Zach Carlson, I believe, and caused him to wreck. That's what happened there, but we'll go back to live action and we'll update on who's out of the race and where everybody's at. And Taylor Orndorff is leading as we're back to live action. Taylor Orndorff is up here leading. There's the 74 car, Ryan Juke for the first time, rookie Ryan Juke. And by the way, this season, up here in the corner of the name, when you see an R, that represents as a rookie driver to indicate it, so that's why that's there. So, if you see that. You see Steven Gonzalez is still on pit road. There's Jack Richards. He's not going to win this race, but it is just a Bud Shootout, and go out and get some practice runs and get prepared for the Gatorade duels. Yes, there will be 2 Gatorade duels to determine the starting lineup for the Daytona 500. So he's going to go out there and just run some laps. But here comes that second field led by Soren Tahari. He's leading Zohar Mutton, Randy Carpenter, Jacob Rodriguez, who moves over to the 33 as the 45 shut down. Ralph Green and outside pole sitter, James McLeod. There's Ralph Green back in the 28. Talk about him for a second. He won a couple races last season, but he did not compete really well in the chase. He's looking to find that magic he had in this 28 car from the first 2 seasons, and he is a former winner here at Daytona. He won the July race a couple seasons ago, so keep an eye on him. There's Alexander Dawson. He's by himself. The last winner we had, period, in the Mountain Race Series. His last race in the 25 car, the Rally's car, which is driven now by James McLeod, which just has a new sponsor. Alexander Dawson won at Homestead, won 3 races last year at 25, but still made the move because points-wise, he wasn't very satisfied with his performance of the team. So Alexander Dawson is running in this 51 car that used to be driven by Steven Gonzalez, but is a new manufacturer and everything. There's Callum Wells, Jack Richards, Matthew Rodriguez is back on the track. There's Zach Carlson. Pole sitter had a bad race now. Steven Gonzalez is still on pit road. There's Trent Dunham. And Taylor Orndorff continues to lead this race. The front pack consists of the 91, Taylor Orndorff. He is one of the teammates of the Evernham cars, because he's teammates with Michael Kazi and Soren Tahari. Oh, Dylan Pote's getting really close to John Dawson. Oh, he made contact. Everybody's getting into each other this race. Anyway, other people in this pack. Oh, they're going to catch Trent Dunham. Oh, not to dive low, and uh-oh, John Dawson. Oh, they wrecked. John Dawson's around. He's sliding through the grass. Does he save it? Yes, he does. John Dawson, what a save. What happened to the second pack? Oh, and James McLeod blew up. That's what happened. We had an engine failure and a wreck all at once. There's John Dawson. I have to go back and see that too. And Dylan Pote, Ryan Juke, and Aaron Reed are stuck behind the 8 car. And now we have a 6 car pack battling for the lead now. James Qualls, he used to drive the 28. He's in a different ride again this season. He's trying to find that car to keep him going. The 28, unfortunately, was taken away from him. He battled for that car, but James is in the 6th car, which was driven by John Acosta last season. In the past, it ran good with Callum Wells early on in the series history. Won a couple races and stuff, but James Quall is going to try to bring some new magic to the 6th team. Red Bell is going to look for some great success again this season, trying to make the chase again. She has been one of the more consistent drivers in the series history, as she usually finishes among the top people in points. She's definitely our elite female driver so far in the history of the series. Daryl Parsons is going to try to make a name for himself in the 55. You'll see different paint schemes for him this season. He probably will not stay just in that car. Just with the 40 car, I just thought it was going to be really confusing. But you should see different stuff. Taylor Orendorff up here again. There's Michael Causey. Drove the 97 car last season. Got a win, but he was at Michigan, but he was not satisfied with the car's results throughout the season mostly. And just wasn't satisfied. And he returns to the 19. This is the same 19 team that he ran with early on in his career when it was a McDonald's 19 car. So you might see throwback paint scheme this season in that with that 19. So same car he used to be, and he's happy to be back in it. Ralph Green drove it last season, ran good, made the chase. So let's see what Michael Causey can do this season. There's Charles Jackson, the 15 car. He moved over from the 36 team over to this 15 team. Won at Dover in the Wreckfest last season in his Toyota. But other than that, had a terrible season. He actually even missed a race because he had a gearbox break before the start of a race at Atlanta. He did not get credited for starting, so he basically failed to start a race. Now we'll come up with Zach Carlson. The field is hung up. Now this is good for Daryl Parsons and James Qualls on the high side as Zach Carlson's in the way. Now they need to split them. Oh, not happening. There's going to be a lot of slow cars from those wrecks, and I forgot to go back and check on that stuff with James McLeod and all them. But looking in the field right now, Sasha Dawson dropped out of the race, as well as Steven Gonzalez, Barney Ward, and James McLeod dropped out just recently, a couple laps ago, with a broken header on that 25 team. Not the way he wanted to start, but again, it is only the Budweiser Shootout. Jack Richards, Trent Dunham, Zach Carlson 1 lap down. Matthew Rodriguez on the verge of going a lap down, maybe. He probably will go a lap down before this race is over. There's Jack Richards. Soren Dahari's back here, separated. Trent Dunham. There's Alexander Dawson. He's found a couple of cars to work with. John Dawson's trying to work his way back up, but more than likely, chances to win this race are over. Didn't see who turned him. He did a great job of saving the car, though, from hitting anybody or anything. 360 and kept going. 56 car could be good this season. We'll see what happens. But it was a tough break, whoever did turn him. I don't know. It might have been Dylan Poteet, possibly. Or maybe one of these. It could have been one of these cars. I don't know. We'll go back on the replay after the race, though, or when we have a chance. There's Ralph Green running in 12th. Zohar Munn, the Brickyard 400 winner. Yeah, the Brickyard 400 winner last season when he drove the 5 car, which is now driven by Barney Ward. Struggled heavily last season. Almost got another win at Kentucky Speedway, but Matt Richards, who drove the 74 last season, edged him out right at the last lap on the straightaway. So he had enough of the 5 team, and Zohar moved over to the new 12 car. The Penske Racing and Dodge, you'll see different colors for that car. You'll see the white one, you'll see a red one, and then there'll be a blue paint scheme probably. So just keep an eye on that for Zohar. And he's looking for new success this season, now behind the wheel of a Dodge and getting rid of the Chevy he had. Go up a little bit. There's Zach Carlson. There's Aaron Reed. Aaron Reed barely got back in the series. He's happy to be back. Wanted to carry over his success he had last season. He's been building momentum every season, getting better and better, ready to be a serious championship contender this season in the 88. Randy Carpenter. This car originally was the Target Dodge, but I decided to switch it back to the Red Bull paint scheme, so we had 4 Red Bull cars again. So the 41 is back to this car, not the Target car. Ryan Juke taking over a 74 car that won last season with Matt Richards at Kentucky. Looking for a lot of success. Jacob Rodriguez, we already talked about. Dylan Poteet decided to make the move out of the 22 and moved into the 24. Moved over to Hendrick Motorsports. He won at Kansas last season, but he was looking for something different, so he wanted a new ride. We're back up here, and Taylor Orendorff is pulling away. Jack Richards is holding up the field, but that's not really necessarily a good thing at Daytona, because Those cars are drafted and they'll catch him. But this is looking like deja vu, as Taylor Orndorff is the defending winner of the Budweiser Shootout. Now he has Matthew Rodriguez up there, or between them. And now Charles Jackson and Red Bell are working together to get around Michael Causey. They're doing a two-car tandem, or attempting it, I think. Oh, maybe not. And then Jack Richards is still in the way. He cannot get out of the way for Daryl Parsons and James Qualls, really costing them. And now they're going to get out of the way. Computers on this game are just not that smart, but Jack Richards, I don't know what he was doing right there. Now they're going to go back up here, and Taylor Orndorff is definitely going to get caught. Oh, Trent Dunham. Oh, he's going to run the back of him almost. Trent's extremely slow right now. Hopefully he stays up high. No, he's not. Oh, Red Bell just about got on the back of Charles Jackson. This is really messing up this finish right now with the slow cars. Now it looks like the 29 is trying to work with the 15. Oh, Red Bell, her boyfriend is holding her up. That's not going to be a good night tonight. Uh-oh, Daryl Parsons just about got into Michael Causey. Here comes James Qualls back. They're going to bring the whole 6-car field back together. Actually, Taylor Orndorff's by himself again. If they don't get any drafting partners, this race is going to get handed right to Taylor Orndorff again. Look at this field again. Zach Carlson's holding up this field. The slow cars are going to be a major factor in this race, it looks like. Cars battling back here, about 5 cars. Jack Richards in the way again. And now everybody's finally around Trent Dunham. But look at the spacing there is. And look how far Taylor Orndorff is ahead. Last time by, he was a second ahead of the 15 of Charles Jackson. Just doesn't have the help. Matthew Rodriguez, it's actually up to speed in the 29, I think. But there is still some time for them to catch the 91. Charles Jackson needs somebody to help him. Matthew Rodriguez could be an X factor in this situation. Michael Causey just cleared Red Bell. James Qualls is now in 5th, and unfortunately Daryl Parsons looks like he is losing the pack. So we'll see what happens with these 3 cars. This is a pack you gotta watch though. These 3 could hook up and catch the top 2. We have 3 laps to go. Now let's see how they maneuver around the 29 here. They're all going to the bottom. And Charles Jackson is actually catching Taylor Orndorff. Taylor Orndorff would love to see that checkered flag, but the laps aren't winding down quick enough for him. Man, they're actually going to catch him. We'll have a good 5-car race for the win now. They're all together now. Soren Tahari's a little bit ahead, but he's not slow. He just doesn't have a drafting partner. So this looks like this could be a good race now. We have 2 laps to go. 5-car race, or 5-car battle for the win now. Taylor Orndorff, Charles Jackson, Michael Causey, Red Bell, and James Qualls. Here comes Michael Causey. He's on the back bumper now of his teammate Taylor Orndorff. They kick Charles Jackson to the outside. Here comes Red Bell and James Qualls. Now we're going to have a good race for the win right now. Who's going to make a move? Is Causey going to try to work with his teammate? He's pushing. Red Bell's around his bumper. Qualls has no help on the bottom now. Charles Jackson's getting a little bit of the benefit right there. I'm staying up high. But now they're going to drop back low, and Charles Jackson with no help again. This time by will be the white flag. Red Bell and Michael Causey have hooked up and worked well these last few laps. Will they work together? Will Causey ditch his teammate, stick with the 4? It's all or nothing here. Here comes Red Bell. She takes the move. She goes instead of Causey. White flag is out for Taylor Orndorff. Qualls and Charles Jackson are falling back a little bit. Now Causey's going to lose 2nd to Red Bell. Causey's going to lose 3rd. He has to bring it down, but the door is just slammed. James Qualls is there. Here comes Charles Jackson. Now what's going to happen? Does Red Bell have anything for Taylor Orndorff? Daryl Parsons back there pushing Matthew Rodriguez, but I guess it's not going to work, but he's going to be out of contention. James Qualls is about to make a move on the inside of Red Bell. They're not close enough to Taylor Orndorff, who's all of a sudden pulling away from the field because of the racing. Taylor Orndorff. Deja vu. It looks like all over again. He's going to come off the final corner. They're Soren Tahari, but it looks like it's not going to affect it. Taylor Orndorff is going to make it 2 years in a row. Taylor Orndorff wins the Budweiser Shootout for the 2nd time in 2 years. Taylor Orndorff does one of the actually highly unlikely things in this game. Wins 2 races in a row, the same race. Taylor Orndorff is now a 2-time Budweiser Shootout winner. What an accomplishment by that 91 car and that driver. But it was a great race. Red Bell didn't have anything for him. She will get a nice 2nd place finish. James Qualls will get 3rd. Charles Jackson 4th. Michael Causey 5th. Daryl Parsons lost the draft, but he's still going to get a strong 6th place run in his first race. Ryan Juke, another guy in his first race. He's going to get 7th. Good run for him. Dylan Poteet, oh, nope. Aaron Reed finishes 8th. Dylan Poteet 9th. And Jacob Rodriguez rounds out your top 10. See Randy Carpenter on 11th. Callum Wells 12th. John Dawson 13th. Zohar Munn 14th. Ralph Green 15th. Alexander Dawson 16th. Soren Tahari 17th. Matthew Rodriguez 18th. Zach Carlson 19th. Jack Richards 20th. Trent Dunham 21st. And I believe the rest of the field is out. There's your results right there. Heartbreakers for some of the people at the bottom, including Sasha Dawson, Steven Gonzalez, Barney Ward, the rookie, and James McLeod, as they all failed to finish the race. Trent Dunham, Jack Richards, Zach Carlson, Matthew Rodriguez, days were ruined by that turn 1-2 accident. So it was pretty crazy. But congrats again to Taylor Orndorff. 2 years in a row he's won the Budweiser Shootout. Did not think that was possible, but Taylor did it. So before we continue on through the results, let's go back and see what happened to John Dawson as he had wrecked earlier on. And we saw James McLeod lose an engine, so let's see what happened to them. Alright, well, the James McLeod engine failure had nothing to do with the wreck on the back straightaway, but this was going to take, or to complete lap 11. James McLeod was up there battling him almost in the top, right outside the top 10. He's back here behind Jacob Rodriguez, just having a solid run. He's trying to make up what he could after the field got separated after the wreck, and then the header broke on that car. Then he couldn't get out of the way. And he held up the 9 and the 12 big time there, but he finally got it to the apron, and that was the end of his race. He only made it halfway through the race. Tough race for James McLeod, but expect that car to be running good at Daytona for the duels races and for the 500. And you see the wreck up ahead with the smoke, but we'll check that now. Let's see what happened to John Dawson on the back straightaway. Alright, this is in the lead pack. This is back when we had about a 10-car battle for the lead. And they're coming up on the slow car, Trent Dunham. So it looks like everybody's going to try to start avoiding. And then, like John Dawson. It looks like Dylan Poteet went under him. I think he went down and tried to avoid Trent Dunham. Dylan Poteet was actually already there and turned the 56. Now, Dylan's had a lot of history with the Dawson family in the past. I don't think that one was intentional, but hopefully John doesn't take it the wrong way. But it looks like he was just trying to avoid the 8 car, and Dylan was already below him trying to make a move. But just a racing incident, guys. Hopefully it was just a clean wreck. But back to the results now. Alright, we're back here with the results. After we saw what happened, it was a fun-packed race. Had a great finish, I believe. But Taylor Orndorff, like I said, held on to win the Budweiser Shootout for 2 years in a row. So, momentum already on the 91 side of that team. And now we put our attention to the Gatorade duels, which will be happening pretty soon. I want to run a... How it's going to work, I'm going to have a qualifying session. I'm just going to qualify all the cars, everybody in the series. And the people that qualify, like right off the bat, the top 2 qualifiers, the front row, they will be locked in the top 2 spots no matter what. It's like real life. So if you qualify first or second, when I do it, no matter where you finish in the Gatorade duel, you will still start first and second. And then the Gatorade duel winners for the 2 races will start third and fourth, and then finish behind them, and so on to the back. The people that qualify in odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, etc., will be in Gatorade duel number 1. And people qualify 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc., will be in the Gatorade 2 race, if I can get my word out. But those races will be on here, and they will hopefully be soon. I'll have to get the starting lineups and all that figured out. And just everybody, if you're still watching at this point, please comment, because if you haven't noticed, everybody's starting to do it, so you can't get away with not commenting anymore in these races. And my rule I'm going to do, if you go 4 races without commenting, you will be kicked out of your ride. I'm sorry, and if you're one of my good friends and you don't do it, I'll try to get to you. If you don't do it, I'm sorry, but I'll have to kick you out of your ride. Because there's a lot of people that have been messaging me wanting rides, and they can't get them because they missed the sign-up. So, I mean, there's reserved drivers already, but I'm just telling you now, comment every race to save your ride. I mean, and it's really simple, 15 seconds to comment where you finish, or like your thoughts on the race or something. That's all it is, guys. Don't make it that difficult. But just subscribe and everything so you can keep the video on your main YouTube page so you can see it, or just go to my channel and just let me know your thoughts and everything about this first race. And I hope it's going to be a great season, and I will see you guys for the duels. As this race is over, congrats again to Taylor Orndorff and the whole 91 team for making it 2 years in a row winning the Budweiser Shootout. I will see you guys soon. Peace out.